Thank you very much. I welcome you all. The issue of COVID-19 and staff union agitations and strike actions have really been devastating. Of course, COVID-19 didn't only affect the universities, it affected the entire world. And the universities being made of being community, suffered so much about that. But for my university, Okpara University of Agriculture, Umudike, the impact was so devastating. We are a university of agriculture, and some of the revenue we generate on a yearly basis come from our agricultural fields. However small they help us a lot to, one, generate funds, two, teach our students practical agriculture, and three, make impact in the communities around us, because we do extension of agricultural practices to various communities around us. For the 2020 season, we couldn't do any planting, therefore we couldn't do any harvesting because everything shut down. A similar situation occurred in 2022 during the staff agitations and strike action. We were not able to either cultivate or to plant. Even the little effort we made in 2022, when we came back from the strike, from the COVID-19 problem, couldn't really last, because soon after we came from COVID-19, there were strike actions, there were agitations by one staff union or the other, and that also really affected things. So for almost 3 years now, we have not been in the field, have not cultivated anything. But then we are working towards taking care of some of these issues in some of our recent thinking and adoption of some technology that can keep us indoors and still make some impact agriculturally. The staff union agitation is something else. This has been with us for quite a long time, and each time we subscribe to it, it becomes a problem within, because various categories of staff are persuaded to leave the campus. In doing this, our facilities are affected. We lose a lot. Our generators are shut down, batteries dry up. Our farms, especially poultry and the things like that, they are also dried up because nobody to take care of livestock. So we pay dearly for it, and when we come back, we begin to use lean resources to resuscitate the environment that has been so badly affected. Such has been our problem. The affected academic calendar, for instance, the matriculation we held today should have held about a year plus ago. The last matriculation was October 2021. That matriculation should have come up February or March 2021. And then we had none last year, and then this one comes up this time around. That shows that there's a gap of at least a year, and that hasn't helped issues. So to ameliorate that, what we had to do this year is to merge 2 sessions for the first year students, and so we're having about 2,500 students from 2021-22 session. We're merging them with about 3,500 students from 2022-23 session. That is already affecting our facilities, overstretching our facilities. But we tried as much as possible to provide an expansion of hostels, and of course put into use one of our largest lecture, newly completed lecture rooms, and tried finding seats for the students to be there that can take up to close to 3,000 students at a sitting for their lectures. That's not all. Facilities, we are just trying to regenerate our facilities. And of course, we suffered a lot of thefts. People vandalized a lot of things, up to armored cables, air conditioners, and many things were carted away from the university here. So we're trying to use the limited resources we have to get them back and to keep functioning. But we're not lying low. We're moving as much as possible to make sure that we recover time. Yes, we are. When introducing, we started geology some time ago, but because it was not properly done, the NUC asked us to drop it. But now we are on course. We have gone back to geology. We have been accepted to do geology. We are going into mechatronics and robotics. Luckily, a firm, MOUAU Group, is giving us the seed money for starting robotics or mechatronics. And very soon we are going to have this laboratory. Once we do that, we launch into that. We are thinking of many other things. Already we are having environmental and toxicology department. We are thinking of having the full course of the full component of the College of Environmental Studies and things like that. So we are working hard to making sure that we expand the university in terms of programs. Yeah, funding has been a major problem because to provide for close to 30,000 students at a time is a very big issue. We don't have all the funding that we need because a lot of people compete for it, a lot of universities compete for it at national level. And of course, as I've mentioned that COVID-19 and some of the strike issues affected our IGR collections. So it is a very big task, but we are being conscious of that. We are trying to make do with whatever we can have. And that's why I called on parents today to please pay the little charges we asked that students should pay to contribute to payment for electricity distributed to us by EDDC, and then to be able to buy fuel and diesel, to be able to generate water, to be able to pay for cleaning of the environment. These are the areas that the little things we take from the students go into. We will be very, very happy that parents and supporters of education help us in this direction. The overhead that government gives comes occasionally, but we cannot so much depend on it because it doesn't go around. We have a lot of, here we have 54 departments and 10, 11 colleges. We have other, other sectors of the university that we require to fund on daily basis. We need to mobilize for one action or the other, for one duty or the other. We need to travel often and all things like that. So money can never be enough in a system like this. But we are trying to make do with the little we have, try to equitably distribute, try to control spending, and then make sure that we don't run dry at any time. Well, that's a very big question. I don't think that I need less than 5 billion naira to run the university. I don't need less than 5 billion naira to run the university to a very reasonable extent. Because power alone and diesel take more than close to 100 million from the university every month. If you go for one full supply of diesel at 33,000 liters, you are paying close to 40 million. And the distributors of electricity will also charge you close to 20. So you are already more than 60. You are not talking about cleaning and things like that will take it. So if I'm spending close to 100 million naira every month to make sure that only cleaning and provision of light and water are achieved, you can imagine what else I need to give to the 54 departments, 10 colleges, 11 directorates, and all that need to be funded every day to run the university. So I don't need less than 5 billion naira to do that. No, we don't have a problem with accreditation. All our courses are on course. We have full accreditation for our courses. We achieved that since 2 years ago. To have been part of what happened in the country on the 25th of February and I think is it 11th or so of March, 18th of March, is a very big honor to me because since 1979 I've been part of the election processes of Nigeria. As an undergraduate in 1979, I was a presiding officer. I also participated in the election of 1983, shortly before I left for my youth service. And then I was a collation officer for the renowned election that brought in the former governor of Enugu State, Prof Okpara, in one of the hotly contested constituencies, that's Okpara. I was also in about South and North in 2019, where I also collected for the House of Representatives. I equally collected for the governorship election that year in Bende. So I don't have any reason to be under pressure about collation of election results because I think I have grown with it. I've been part of it day and night. And then, of course, for Enugu, we spent a long time praying for that election. We spent a long time praying, fasting, and keeping vigil for Enugu State. And we went there with positive mind. And we discharged our duties as provided by the regulation for collation and declaration. So there was no pressure, nobody attacked us, nobody raised any issue that was serious beyond what we could control in the whole process. I made sure that the 3 days I spent in Enugu, there was peace in my collation center and people applauded it. And of course, at the end of the day, we added up the votes and announced the majority based on the regulations on collation and declaration. So I don't have any problem with what we did in Enugu. But shortly after that, I began to hear about being, hands being tied and all that. If my hands were tied, then how did I write the election results? how did I declare somebody as the winner? And of course, I began to hear about, compromises. No, we don't talk about compromises with people like us, because by God's grace, we have molded character to, shield off, issues like that. It's not that people will not come to tell you to promise heaven and earth to you, but there's nothing beyond having your peace of mind, being conscientious, having the right conscience at the right time. I had the right conscience. I had an objective in doing that work. I delivered it to my personal satisfaction, and I'm sure to the glory of God. I also delivered it to the peace of Enugu State and for the good reward that I expect from God and maybe INEC. So I'm happy that you asked this question because I didn't want to begin to defend myself. There's no need to do that because I have the records are there and everything that happened is clear that we did our best and left Enugu in peace. Thank you. Well, if you have good people within, why do you go out to look for people? We try to groom people from within here. People have risen from here to be vice chancellors elsewhere. At least we have one or two examples. People have risen from here to be registrars in 2 or 3 places that I know since I joined this place. People also have risen here to become university librarians in other universities. So it means that we are doing fine. We are training people very well here. And why do we have to offload them if we need to have them here? But in our circumstance, in my time as Vice Chancellor, I know that I needed people that know it best within here so that we can work and quickly recover the university, which has been under tension and under serious losses since the COVID-19 period. If probably somebody else was lucky enough to have come from outside, it will take him about 1 year or 2 to settle down. But personally, I'm in a hurry to, achieve what will be useful for this university and advance the course of this university beyond where we are. So I think I want to thank God for giving me people from within as principal officers to work with because they already know the reading and we'll be able to work together to take the university to greater heights. Thank you very much. I relax in the hands of God. After my work here, I go home and pray and thank God for the day. And if there are complaints, I lay them at the feet of the Lord and forget them there. I go into my bed and sleep very well for the few hours I do. And the next day, I wake up again, tell God it's a new day, give direction. And he has been doing that for quite a long time. So I have a good, I have a good home. I have a good wife waiting for me to return to, provide me relaxation. And so there is nothing to worry about after a very busy day's function. Thank you very much.